Should you pull for Dorgann? His role is going to be a linked attacker and a breaker. I just forgot to put that in there. His attack, Spell Break. His skill 1 will instant break the enemy, dealing 3 split HP attacks and inflicting group Dawn Spellblade for 6 turns. Starlit Abandon, his skill 2, deals 4 HP attacks with 150% splash, and it will also grant the buff Precious Memories for 6 turns. Final skill, Felling Timber, his EX, deals 4 AoE HP attacks. It will cancel the enemy's group break at first. It will move a selected ally after his own turn, and it will inflict onto all enemies Felling Timber for 1 turn. Linear Transmission, Third Eye Strike, his LD. It deals 5 AoE HP attacks with all 20% splash. It will cancel the enemy's group break. It increases his skill uses by 1 and will grant his buff Third Eye for 12 turns. Third Eye is what gives him his follow-up attack. Image Slash deals 3 split HP attacks, and it increases his Brave by 20% of the HP damage dealt. Steel Weaving the Future, his FR, will cancel the target's break before attack, will cancel group break status after every single HP attack, and whenever it's active, whenever anyone is breaking or attacking a broken enemy, they get a party HP cap up of 30%. Dawn Sword Dance, his BT effect. It lasts for 8 turns, granting the party HP cap up of 30%. Also, it gives party Wind Enchant. His buffs and debuffs with Precious Memories will grant Self Wind Enchant, and it will trigger the follow-up Image Slash whenever any enemy is broken. There's no cap to this, by the way. Dawn Spellblade, the debuff, will give Wind Resist down, and whenever anyone is attacking a unit buffed with Third Eye, it resets its own break. Also with this debuff, after being attacked, it will again reset its own break. Felling Timber, his other debuff, it makes it so all attacks will deal 0 Brave damage, and it will also deal 0 HP damage. However, with the HP damage part, once an enemy attacks and the 0 HP damage effect triggers, that actually will cancel the debuff. Third Eye, the buff that you get from his LD, will upgrade his follow-up Image Slash to Image Slash Plus. Dorgann's Force Conditions, you get a 5% whenever anyone's using a wind ability, including off-turn damage. You get a 20% whenever Dorgann uses a wind ability, including off-turn damage, and a final 30% whenever you are breaking an enemy. Dorgann's pros, I really like that he gives the party high HP cap ups with his BT and FR. 60% across the board is going to help everyone else deal higher damage, not just himself. But what really makes Dorgann fun is if you pair him with the right people. If you pair him with breakers, or if you pair him with people that really play with the enemy's brave, for example, if you have Sephiroth, Dorgann and Sephiroth together, magic, I'm telling you. You pair him up with the right people, watch the damage roll. His follow-ups can be very abused with the right setups, like I've said before. What's great about his follow-up is if the follow-up itself breaks an enemy, it will trigger again. If you time it to where someone breaks one target, Dorgann's follow-up breaks another time, that is a very, very fun thing to do with him, and I love doing that. And on top of this, his follow-up, because it can be triggered a lot, works well with other off-turn FRs. You'll have to bear in mind that the follow-up will do wind damage, but apart from that, it's still good. His FR conditions themselves are pretty easy. You just have to worry about being able to consistently break the enemy and your party dealing wind damage. And if you recall, Dorgann gives party wind enchant with his BT. Dorgann's cons. I must say, as much as I love his follow-ups, as much as I love his off-turn damage, his on-turn is another case. I do find it to be a bit lacking. Additionally, when you're fighting bosses that can't be broken, Dorgann's follow-ups straight up don't trigger, which if you compound the fact that his on-turn isn't the most impressive, really nerfs him as a unit when you can't break the enemy. And since he is an elemental attacker by nature, another con that he very much suffers from is elemental lockouts. If you're using Dorgann, you want to break the enemy as many times as possible. With elemental lockouts, your brave damage is going to be neutered, and because your brave damage is neutered, it's going to be that much harder to break the enemy. You do have instant break options with Dorgann, but with his follow-ups, they don't break. Is Dorgann's BT necessary? It depends on how your roster looks. His burst will provide the party Wind Enchant, which is not accessible in the game unless if you have Fujin or Bartz. That is the biggest value I think his BT brings to the table. Other than that, his follow-ups work the exact same. So if you're willing to give up the party enchant, his burst isn't that necessary. My should you pull rating for Dorgann is an S-. I really do think that he, in the right hands, is a very, very abusable character. With his follow-ups, with his FR, it'll take a bit of planning, and it'll take a bit of strategy in order to fully optimize Dorgann as a linked attacker, but it can be done, and I think you're gonna see some really, really fun numbers. Thank you guys so much for watching with me. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!